You join me today as we eagerly await the beta version of FM24 to be dropped. It could be any time soon. I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon. Who knows? Speculation is now it's going to be Thursday the 19th, but nobody really knows. So we're all excited. But before we hit FM24 and the beta version, we need to review the season that we've just finished in our series To Be a Legend and have a roundup of the series to date. Hello, and it's a very extremely warm welcome to episode 100, a century of episodes, and I've just knocked my phone on the floor. Oh dear, it doesn't like sitting in the little cradle that I've got down here to my left. You're my left, and I have invariably hit it at some point or other during recording, and I've just hit it right at the start today. Why not? Indeed, what was I saying? Oh yes, a century of episodes here in this To Be a Legend series. The big question is, of course, and we'll find out later on in this episode, whether we have actually attained, and possibly for the first time since I've been recording Football Manager To Be a Legend videos, will we have achieved the title of legend here at Buxton? Something I haven't checked on. We'll go and check together a little bit later on. I've got to remember where to find it, though. That is the only thing. So today's episode, it's going to be a roundup of the season that's just finished, season 27-28 in series, and the end of series roundup. My name is Mark, and as mentioned in the preamble, we are waiting, of course, FM24 and the beta version coming out, and if you're eagerly awaiting it as well and you haven't bought your copy yet, you can find a link down below along with a code which will save you some money. If you buy it at Fanatical, then you can buy it, and if you use that link to get there, you help the channel as well, and it's a very, very big thank you. The other thing you can do for me, which also helps this channel, especially letting other people know that the videos are there, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. It does absolute wonders for me and the channel. So if you enjoy my videos, please do that for me. It helps me to continue to do the things that you enjoy. Right, let's get on with it then, because we have a review of the season to go, and we'll do all that, I think, first, and then we'll have a roundup of the series. 6 seasons here at Buxton, working our way up from pretty much the basement of non-league all the way up to the Championship. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish off the series by getting a promotion to the Premier League. I don't know that we could have left it there, really, could we? I mean, we'd have been a bit sort of like, really? Do we want to leave it there? We'd have had to carry it over, I think. But anyway, one thing I can tell you from this screen, which is the home screen, 320 games in the save. We've played 1,800 and 1,800? One, I wish. 187 games we've won, 65 draws, 68 losses. We've scored 617 goals for 343 goals against. That's a club goal difference of 274 and a win percentage of 58. So that's where we've ended up, 10th in the Championship with a media prediction of 24th. The club was founded in 1877. Estimated value is 18.21 million. Be interesting when we look back at the rest of the series, how that changes throughout the year. We'll do our best to follow that if we can. Without any more to do, let's get on to the main priority, the start of this episode, which is to have a review of the season that's just gone, season 2027 and 2028. So here we are then on the end of season review screen for 2027-28, and we start as always with the new arrivals, and these were the transfers in this season. Mason Burstow joined us from Crystal Palace, 37 appearances, 14 from the bench. He scored 26 goals, 2 assists, and had an average rating of 7.05, and that's because he had really the last third of the season was very mediocre to his standards. Lemar Gordon, just one thing to say before I move on. In fact, I should have highlighted that Board were delighted with the deal to sign Mason Burstow, mainly down to not having to pay a transfer fee for the player. But I think one thing that I'm looking forward to in FM24, if I may say, is that Mason Burstow, obviously when we brought him in, we set a target for him to score, give him some bonuses if he scored 15 goals or 20 goals and so on. Now, once he'd hit that mark, he seemed to drop. He's like a cliff. He dropped off. I won't say he wasn't interested, but he just didn't really have the whatever around him. And I think that sort of was around when our form dropped off as well. So what I was going to say was, with FM24, if you can actually set targets, and you can set those targets throughout the season, so it might be that he's hit 20 goals for the season. You go, do you know what, Mason? I'll give you another 20 grand if you can score 25, and I'll give you 50 grand beyond that if you can score 30. I don't know. Let's see if it works. It'd be interesting to see. But anyway, that's Mason Burstow. Lemar Gordon on loan from Fulham, made 23 appearances, 9 from the bench. He scored 7 goals, made 5 assists, 6.93. They said they were excited to sign him on loan. Bali Mumba came in from Norwich. He annoyed me at times, did Bali. 40 appearances, 2 from the bench, so he was pretty much an ever-present. Scored 1 goal, made 7 assists, so he did quite well from assists point of view. 6.92 on the old average rating. And then we have McLean Hoare on loan from Leicester. 29 appearances, 9 from the bench, 1 goal, 5 assists at 6.85. Jake Lewis apparently was our star incoming. We brought him in. He was a youth player in the Arsenal setup. Yeah, I mean, he's building momentum. Caused us a little bit of a problem when we had Joe Lewis as well, and we couldn't differentiate who was who until we worked out that we could call them Jake Dash Lewis and Joe Dash Lewis, so we could see who was who, which made all the difference. 36 appearances for a 19-year-old. That's very good. 4 appearances from the bench. 3 goals, no assists, a 6.84. Then come Charlie McCann, who came in from Rangers B. 29 appearances, 10 from the bench, a 6.83 and 5 assists. Lewis Jackson, who we just brought in from Manchester United, 31,000 we paid for him in the January window. 13 appearances, 1 goal, 6.79. I think 1 for the future, him. Tegan Pelling on loan from Leicester. I think actually if we can get him back for another season, or could have got him back for another season, I think he could have done well. Once we'd really started to play the new system and playing him in that deep lying forward position, he really come on leaps and bounds. And I know the Leicester manager was giving me grief at one time to play him in that position. And he wasn't really the position to play a striker, a lone striker. It was okay when we played him up there as besides somebody else. Anyway, 13 appearances, 2 from the bench, 4 goals, a 6.79. David Abu from Crystal Palace, again, didn't really set the world alight. 26 appearances, 10 from the bench, 5 goals, 4 assists, a 6.73. Brian Meher come in just a short while ago, made up 8 appearances, come from Shamrock Rovers, a 6.71, really to give a bit of competition to the goalkeepers. because Cartwright wasn't really doing well. And Aaron Ramsey, probably the damp squib of the lot. 11 appearances, 6 from the bench, 2 goals, no assists, 6.67. So he probably wasn't the best. Outgoings: Andrew Thomas, Ashley Fletcher, Manny Norquette, Josiah Linton, Sam Burns, James Tilley, and Alex Patterson. All apart from Andrew Thomas, who went to Maidstone United, 6.80. Ashley Fletcher, who we got 100,000 from, went to Forest Green, played 4 games, 13 from the bench, scored 1 goal, a 6.55 for him. Ball were disappointed. We sold him. Really? That sort of form? Not likely. And all these guys ended up nowhere, basically, including Alex Patterson, who was wanting to get out. Got out, and he didn't do well. Of our loans, probably the best loan, Patrick Gamble went to Fylde, 25 appearances, one from the bench, scored 1 goal, 6.78. And Harry Williams, 2 and 2, 6.67. Perry Moss went to Northampton, 4 appearances, 26 from the bench, 3 goals, 1 assist, 6.57. And Harrison Duzizak went to Chesterfield, 6 appearances, 24 sub appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6.52. And Tyrese Omatoy only made 2 substitute appearances from at Salford, and didn't do anything else really. Michaelius Nafatu will probably feature in the team going forward, but he didn't make any appearances at Northampton. Our season then, we'll have a look at a deep dive on the table as we always do. Finished 10th, an average attendance from a capacity of 10,800, 10,626, 98% of our capacity. Our top goal scorer was Mason Burstow, and there's a list of the scores we want to look at closer look. Knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Norwich City. We beat Luton after a replay. We beat Notts County after a replay. Notts County won on penalties, I think. Lost 2-0 to Norwich in the FA Cup. Our top scorer is Mason Burstow again. 5 goals he scored. And then the Caribou Cup, we were knocked out in the 3rd round by Newcastle United. Beat Wigan Athletic in the 1st round. Blackburn Rovers 2-1 in the 2nd round. Lost 4-1 to Newcastle, Premier League Newcastle, in the 3rd round. Top scorers in that, 2 goals apiece from Billy Suss Davis, O'Dofin and Mason Burstow. And so that's how that all finished up. Moments to remember: our biggest win was a 5-2 win against Reading back in October. Mason Burstow scoring 4 on that occasion. Ismet Idrizi scoring the other one. Millington and Kelly in reply. The match to remember was the 2-1 win in the Caribou Cup against Blackburn. Burstow and O'Dofin in that one. And then the goal of the season was Romain Mundell. Deep in injury time in this one against Millwall. At Millwall, I think at the time we were 3-2 up, and Millwall had given us grief. And Mundell actually finished the game off by scoring this goal. Again, I think like most of the times that we've looked at the goal of the season, I'm not convinced that this was possibly the best goal of the season. To be fair, I really don't. A boo back to Scanlon. Scanlon found King. King found Hoare. Hoare found Mundell. Mundell studied himself. A lovely shot, drive from about 30 yards out. To be honest, I suppose it was quite good. And a nice clean, it says 23 metres. Is that 30 yards, feet, whatever? I don't know. But secured the result in that one. Our club reputation hasn't changed this season. We got 4 new deals of sponsorships, 77.88 thousand a year coming in. Most notable deal is a 5-year deal with a 15.3. Oh, is it 153,000? Right, okay. Sponsorship is up 948,000. Broadcast revenue up 3.01. Corporation and Hospitality 528, competition prize money up 220, and Matchday Commercial 576. Total merchandise sales 361,000. The team, how they lined up. This was the Buxton Best 11. We rotated the team a fair amount this season. However, our key players played a major role in how the season turned out. Cartwright in goal then. Jake Lewis, Mungo Bridge, Joe Lewis, the defensive three. Scanlon and Mumba playing as the complete wing-backs, with May and Hoare between them. Harrison Burrows seemed to find his feet as a left-sided attacking midfielder. David Abu out on the right. Mason Burstow leading the attack up front. Manager awards, didn't win anything this season. Club awards, Mason Burstow, Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. Signing of the season, Jake Lewis. Goal of the season, we've seen it, Romain Mundell. Top goal scorer, 26 goals, Mason Burstow. Adam May had the most assists, 9 for the season. Most Player of the Match awards, Mason Burstow. He got 6. Average rating, it was Mason Burstow, 705. Most passes completed for 90 minutes was Billy Sass Davis, who completed 70. Competition awards, none. So we haven't, mind you, haven't got that far yet. Most goals in a season, these are records. Most goals in a match. Mason Burstow, 4. Most goals by a player in a league match, 4. Jake Lewis, youngest player, 18 years, 172 days. Xander Clark was the oldest player at 35 years, 241 days. Highest transfer received is 100,000 for Ashley Fletcher. And Jake Lewis is our youngest goal scorer. He was 18 years, 179 days when he struck the back of the net. This is what the media say. ITV Sport, James Brooke. Buxton performed well from the very beginning. Their early season football was a joy to watch. And Sky Sports, Richard Wilkinson said, Buxton flew out of the traps and set themselves up well for the season. Right, we wouldn't normally look at this, but we will have a quick look at this because it does fit with the fact that here we are at the end of the series. I joined on the 4th of October 2022. We'll look closer at this in a short while, and it does feature some of the players that we've signed. Matt Richardson, I don't really remember him to be fair. Jordan Ayana, Jack Lee, James Clark, Tom Fielding, Lewis Thompson, Tom Sams. What a shock. Buxton produced an FA Cup trophy shock, beating National League team Bromley 3-0. DeMarlio Brown Sterling was a free transfer in March 2023. Buxton set a new club record as they win 10 matches in a row in the 22-23 season. One for the future. Bobby Kamwa came in on a free. Then we have the National League North Success Buxton 2022-23 Northern League National League North winners. Sam Osborne scored 21 times to break the club record for goals in a season. Josiah Linton agreed to join Buxton at the end of the season. Highly rated Josiah Linton agrees to join Buxton on a free transfer. Just confirmation of that National League North win. Bobby Jones joined at Buxton. Bobby Jones, best in the business, just offside embraced politely. Underplaying the contribution received to get the Vanarama National League North Manager of the Season. Buxton signed hot prospect Perry Moss on a free transfer. He did stay with us for quite a while, even in modern times. Changes of ownership were relatively few and far between. That was the takeover, Brian Gordon taking over in May 2023. AJ Greaves on a free transfer. Patrick Gamble joined us. Jaden Raymond, Manny Norquette, Louis Morden, Romain Mundell. There's a name, a current name. Adam Prizebeck, Harry Williams, of course, we brought in from Radcliffe for 6,000. National League winners, we won the National League in 23-24, backing up our win in the National League North. 98 points, a new record in the National League. A managerial award again, the manager of the season. Manny Norquette broke the club record for goals in a season. A prolific campaign saw him score 34 times. Buxton completed the transfer of Lewis Dobby. Signing the season was Patrick Gamble. And Duncan Idowen joined Buxton on a free transfer. Didn't stay with us that long. Tyrese Omatoy coming in on a free. 100 matches came up against Mansfield in League 2. Buxton recorded an impressive EFL Cup upset as they defeated League 1 team Accrington 2-1. That was good, wasn't it? Buxton recorded an impressive upset as they defeated League 1 team. Doesn't say which. Oh, FA Cup. Beat them 4-1. Promotion specialist Mark Offside recorded his third promotion in a row. When something good is expected to happen, it shouldn't be celebrated any less. That was the mantra of Buxton when they clinched promotion to League 1. League 2 triumph. They were the champions in 24-25. Omatoy breaking the record. 37 times he hit the back of the net. Liam Walsh joined us. And we broke the points record for League 2. 109 points in that season, that promotion season. Tyrese Omatoy made a swift impact, winning the Sky Bet League 2 Player of the Year soon after he joined the club. So that was him, and I got the Manager Award of the season. Tyrese Omatoy, signing of the season. Of course he would be. John Bill was hired as assistant manager. Idowen left Buxton to join Crawley Town for 45,000. Came in for free, so there's money made there. James Tilley joined us. Sam Burns, 200 matches up against Salford in League 1. Buxton won the 25-26 EFL trophy. Something else in the cabinet. Most pundits and analysts predicted EFL League 1 wave goodbye to Buxton, with side set getting promotion they craved and always being strong contenders. Of course, we didn't go up as champions. We went up in second place. Whether Just Offside embraced politely underplayed his contribution when receiving the Sky Bet League 1 Manager of the Year, it will always be in his honours list. So we did well there. Signed Billy Sass Davis, Joe Lewis on a free, both on frees. Dara Costello joined us. Andrew Thomas joined Maidstone United on a freebie. Mason Burstow joined us free. Buxton produced an EFL shock beating Premier League Blackburn 2-1. Celebrating 5 years in charge of Buxton on the 4th of October 2027. And it mentions about the new stadium. 300 matches in charge we made in the Championship season just gone. That was the day that we beat Millwall 4-2. Made 300 matches in charge at Buxton. So that is our timeline. Right. Let's have a bit of a deeper dive then into the table, which is what we like to do before we move on and have a look at the rest of the... we'll get this sorted out in a moment. We have a look at the roundup of the series. We'll quickly blast through and see how we get on. Relegated teams then from the Championship: Hull City, Portsmouth and Ipswich all went down 46, 35 and 22. Hull City unlucky, they went down on goal difference. Nottingham Forest champions on 98 points. Sunderland second on 92. West Brom, Reading, Bristol City and Middlesbrough in the playoffs. I can tell you Bristol City have been knocked out by Reading. As we go on, we'll look at that shortly, but they've already been knocked out. Southampton finished just outside those playoff places, 4 points adrift to B4 on 74 points. Sheffield United on 74. Sheffield were up in amongst it for a long time. Brighton in 9th. We finished 10th on 71 points. In the end, we were some 7 points adrift of those playoff places. Stoke 68, Coventry 64, Peterborough 61, Millwall 59, Watford 56, Derby 55, Luton 53, Blackpool 49, Cardiff 48, Queen's Park Rangers on 47, and Preston just managing to survive on goal difference on 46 points. Right, let's have a look then. Our home record this season, 10th, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14th best. 23 games played. We only won 9, and that was seriously our problem this season. Won 9 games at home, drew 7, lost 7, 29 goals for, 25 goals against, 4 was our goal difference. We just managed to have 34 points at home. In fact, our home record, our last 5 games at home, if we have a look at those, 2 losses, 2 wins and a draw. That's how our season finished up. Actually, I'm in the wrong one now. Our away record, a little bit better. We seem to play better away from home. Finished 10th, of course, and we were 6th best away from home. 23 games played. We won 12, drew 1 and lost 10 away from home. 36 goals for, 30 goals against, 6 plus 6 goal difference, 37 points we picked up away from home. Did I say 34 at home? Yeah. So 3 points more away from home than we got at home. Our last 5 games away from home, though, lost 3, drawn 1 and won 1. First half of the season, halfway through, we were down there in 5th place in the playoff places. We chalked 43 points on the board. We'd had 13 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses. We had a good first half. Second half wasn't as good. 38 goals for, 23 goals against, 15 plus 15 goal difference. If we could have kept that up in the second half, we would have scored 86 points. Where would that have left us? 86 would have left us in the playoffs, pretty much in 5th place. That's just before I go to the second half stage of the season. There we go. And you'll see we dropped away in the second half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14th. Again, 23 games played, 8-1. Just goes to show you, only won 8 of those. 4 draws, 11 losses, 23 for, 32 against, minus 5 goal difference in the second half, 28 points. Quite disappointing, really. There's the combined, just for completeness. Our last 5 games of the season, we were 8th best in the end of season running. West Brom having the best run-in. As did Bristol City, really. There was a group of 4 teams having a good run-in. Won 4 of their last 5, only drew the other one. And of course, Bristol City beating us in their game. Our end of season, well, not too bad. We won 3, drew 1, lost 1. That loss against Bristol City, picking up 10 points in that run-in. 6-4 for 2 against. So, am I right? I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong line. Do apologise. It's 10 points. 8-4, 5 against, goal difference plus 3. So that is how that is. Media prediction wise, well, we did better than media prediction. Media prediction was that we would finish 23rd, finish 10th. 200 to 1 the odds on that. Just imagine if you put £1 on what you would have got back there. That would be, if you put a tenner on, you'd have done even better. So really outstripped our expectations as it was, but a shame that we couldn't achieve our high from the previous year. And one last thing that we like to do, of course, is have a look at how our season prevailed. As you see, we were top of the table after match day 10. The game against Preston North End, beat them 2-1, and we were up there on top and stayed there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 match days before we capitulated in the loss to Nottingham Forest, and then we had a bit of a downward spiral and down a bit further and climbed again, and then we went off form and dropped, hit our rock bottom 10th, and then back up a little bit and then back down to 10th to finish off. Our worst position of the season was our starting point, of course. Never really finished up any lower than that. But once we got the second game under our thing, we were a bit higher. So where we finished up was sort of pretty much the lowest point of the season, discounting where we were after the first game. So somewhat disappointing, shall I say. Nottingham Forest, they had a better trajectory, really. They were sort of just in front of us most of the season, but obviously had a fantastic end towards the end of the season there. So that's how the championship finished up this season. As I said, the playoffs are underway. Semi-finals so far. Middlesbrough and West Brom have got to play one another in the second leg. It's all square at 2-2 after the first leg. Bristol City won the first leg by 2-1, but Reading beating them 3-1 in the second leg to go through 4-3. They are in the final. Who will they play? Middlesbrough or West Brom? I will just move on a little bit and let you know. Well, there's your answer. West Brom beating Middlesbrough by 3-0, 5-2 on aggregate. That sets up a final, semi-final, playoffs, final. It's not been drawn yet. Of course it has. It's straightforward. West Brom will play Reading in that final. My money's on West Brom, to be fair. Finished the season very, very strongly, and I will have them down to actually get promoted through the playoffs. Right, without any more to do, we're going to have a roundup of the series, and I will come back and let you know how the playoff final goes. Well, before we have a look at where we started in this series, we will have a quick look at the playoff final. Reading had the lead through Katie Gordon, who I think I seem to remember played for us for a short while. It might have been on trial or something after 37 minutes. And then Kieran Grant getting an equaliser 2 minutes into injury time. West Brom were very nearly not getting promoted and managed to equalise, went to extra time, and then on 112 minutes Kieran Grant stepped up again and got a winner for West Brom. So as I prophesied, West Brom have been promoted to the Premier League alongside, I'm trying to get the screen up here. Trying to get the screen up if we can. Final league table. There we go. Nottingham Forest, Sunderland and West Brom, who finished third, so pretty much deserved it ahead of Reading in that final. So the playoffs really played out as you would have expected them to in some respects. Right, let's have a look then. The roundup of the series so far. And we start the roundup of the series, how it panned out. We're right back at the start, to be fair, when we joined Buxton. As you'll see from that last screen, we joined Buxton on the, I think we joined them on the 4th of October. We had a game on the 5th of October, a FA Cup third round, qualifying round replay against Kettering Town. More about that in a moment, but we'll look at where we were in the table. 23rd in the table when we joined them. Buxton, we played 11 games, won only one. That game against Leamington, a 2-0 win. Drew 4 matches and had lost 6. So that's key. Remember, 6 losses, okay? And we'd also got 7 points. And on the last 5 games, we'd lost 4 and drawn 1. So that was the form that we were in. If we go to the schedule, we can see that they had played Kettering Town on the Saturday, they played on the Saturday, scored after 10 minutes through Tom Elliott, and the equaliser came from Sheriff, Dakari Sheriff, after 31 minutes, and, it ended 1-1, hence the replay, which was to be our first game, and I think propelled us then onwards and upwards, but as you see, an actual wretched run of form, apart from the FA Cup second qualifying round against Aycliffe, but they hadn't won in the league since Leamington back on the 16th of August. So right wretched start to the season, and they were where they were. But the big question is, if we go back to this screen very quickly, just to check, 23rd in the table, predicted to be 12th. I think the other thing that we mentioned that we were going to keep an eye on was their net worth. 54,063 was the so effectively 64,630 was their position. Semi-professional at that point, and a reputation of 1 star. Question is, how did we end the season? Well, we finished the season with a promotion from being 23rd after 11 games. As you can see, we finished the season having played the 46 games. We won 26 of them. We'd won 1 game. So once we'd taken over, we won 25 games, 9 draws, 11 lost, 94 goals for, 57 against, a goal difference of 37, points total of 87, having won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 in the last 5 games. But it was enough to win the title by a clear 8 points over Spennymoor and Boston United, who had 79 points. So we did an absolutely ferocious climb up that table, and we can see, as you'll see when we looked at it as it was, I think it was 11 games, wasn't it? So we were here right 23rd or near the bottom, and then we started to climb out of it. We had a little bit of a blip here, and then that trajectory then was pretty fast up through this bit until we got to the top of the table on the 7th of March. We hit the top of the table and we stayed there. Pretty comprehensive. And as you'll see, as we said, that early season form down to Kettering Town had a little bit of a stutter, got ourselves going, but then we had a nice little run here where we were scoring goals and all the rest of it. Picked us off the bottom there, getting past Kettering Town 2-1 in that third qualifying round, and then we managed to get past the fourth qualifying round, losing in the first round of the FA Cup to Oxford United eventually. But up until then, we'd had a pretty good run. Hit a little bit of a rough spot there, as we said. It sort of come down a little bit. Had to sort ourselves out. Stuck with the system, which we did. And obviously by that time we brought in a few players. But then we hit quite a good run of form after that loss to Farsley in back end of November. We had a run then where in the National League we only lost to Hereford. The FA Trophy quarter-final we lost to Gateshead 5-0. Kidderminster Harriers we lost in the National League North. So we lost twice really in that second half of the season in the National League North, which is how we ended up where we ended up. So all in all, it was a rather splendid second half of the season, which got us to where we wanted to be. What we want to do here, if I can get there, is have a look at this screen again. Finished first then. Media prediction was 12th. £62,230 was our estimated value. So we'd already pushed up the estimated value. Reputation was still 1 star at this point. 43 games played, 31 games won, 5 draws, 7 losses, 99 goals for, 50 goals against, club goal difference of 49 and a win percentage of 72% at that point in time. How did we get on in the season that followed that? Actually, before we have a look at the how we got on the season before that, I just want to have a look at the goal scorers, to be fair. In this season just gone, of course, scoring all those goals, 90-odd goals. Sam Osborne was our top scorer on 21. Then Girolamo on 20. Harry Bunn on 20. Zach Durnley scored 18. And Tazdemir scored 10. Even Scott Bowden, who latterly didn't score many goals at all, scored 8 goals. And then a cluster of little gems from various people below them. So our star man in that particular season was Sam Osborne. And this was the goal of the season in that particular season. It was in the 3-0 win against Blythe Spartans. That man, Sam Osborne, top scorer of the season, getting this one and a player of the match. A free kick from, good 30 yards out, and he planted that one very, very well. So there we are. That was the goal of the season. And we'll now take a look and have a look at how the following season went, which was the 23-24 season. Well, the 23-24 season turned out to be a record-breaking season for us. We finished first again. A media prediction was that we would finish 22nd. We had increased our estimated value to over £1 million at this point in the series, 1.08 million, as we won the National League and broke records as well. Our reputation had gone to regional and gone to 1.5 stars at this point in time. The table finished like this. We finished on 103 points, some 8 points clear of Chesterfield in second place, who had an incredibly good run in, I noticed there. 5 wins, straight wins in their last 5 games. Wrexham on 82 points, so we were something like 21 points clear of Wrexham in that promotion place. Southend on 80, Torquay on 79, Halifax on 71, and that's how it all played out in that season. And as I say, 130 of our 46 games, drew 13. We only lost 3 games that season to Chesterfield, Southend and Notts County. 104 goals scored, 44 against, a goal difference of 60 goals. That was some absolute chonking away there, wasn't it? Let's have a look at the top goal scorers in this particular sphere. Manny Norquette, the top scorer in this season. 34 goals he put away in 34 appearances. That's a goal a game, boys and girls. 16 goals from Harry Bunn, 12 from Joe Hardy, 9 from Perry Moss. Sion Spence scored 8. Sam Osborne, top scorer last season, only scored 6 goals. He was on his way out, I think. Girolamo, only 5. So some of the performers in the lower divisions didn't do quite as well when we climbed up into that higher division. As you see, this is how the season went. And from the word go, we though we had a few draws, our first overall loss was in the FA Cup first round against Bromley, a 2-0 loss. We went and played them again in the National League in the next game and actually thrashed them. Why we didn't win in the FA Cup, don't know. Our first loss in the National League came to Notts County, but not until January. We were unbeaten until January, which was absolutely astounding. Lost again then in the National League in March to Southend, by which time we'd got through to the FA Trophy. I think we got through to the final, didn't we? Lost in the final to Notts County. We got through the semi-finals, beating Ebbsfleet, finished up in the final. lost on our last day in the National League. I don't think it really mattered too much on that occasion, though. How did our season go? Well, totally different story from the season before. Our lowest point was third after 3 matches. I'm quite sure how we did that, really, because we'd had a really good start. But anyway, we did go as low as third, but then after 4 matches, we hit the top and stayed there. We never relinquished that top position from the 4th game of the season. Just powered ahead and carried on that winning streak. And our goal of the season came in a match at the Silverlands against Dagenham and Redbridge, a 2-1 win. There, Morales giving Dagenham and Redbridge the lead after 24 minutes. Harry Bunn equalising after 35. But AJ Greaves gave us the win after 44 minutes to make it 2-1 at half-time, and that's how it stayed. Linton out on the left here, cuts that back across. Greaves hits it on the volley, and the goalkeeper couldn't stop it from going in. Goal of the season. So that was the 23-24 season. Let's go and have a look at how we got on in 24-25. And at this juncture in time, again, we won Sky Bet League 2, finishing first. Our media prediction was for us to get relegated 24th is what they expected. Our estimated value at this point in time had risen to 1.54 million. Still 1.5 stars on reputation. And with this going on, we had played 157 games, 107 wins, 28 draws, 22 losses, a win percentage of 68, 350 goals for, 162 against, 188 goal difference. And that's how we were going. Perry Moss was our captain, Luca Barrington our key player, and Josiah Linton was our hot prospect. And that's how we progressed in this one. Let's go and have a look at the league table for this season. Still got the playoffs going on. So we finished the season, played 46 games, won 34, drew 7, lost 5, 102 goals for, 39 against, a goal difference of 63, and 109 points, a record haul. I think that one, again, on this occasion, I mean, to be fair, we were, 27 points clear of Leighton Orient in second. Crawley Town, 79 points in third. Then Burton in 76. Bradford, 76. Cheltenham got 71. And Wimbledon, the last of the playoff places, got 70. Northampton and Doncaster going back down into the National League. But we flew through that division. That is for sure. Let's have a look at how we progressed that season. I mean, again, we had a bit of a wonky start. But we hit the top this time after 8 matches and stayed there and just opened up that gap wider and wider at the top. Let's have a look at how it all figured out in the schedule, as you'll see. I mean, look at this run here. I mean, we had a bit of an iffy start, admittedly. It was a bit iffy right in here. Mansfield, Accrington Stanley. I say it was a bit iffy. It was all right, but then we hit this little bit of rough spot here. We were just wondering what we were doing, and then we flew on and piled down the thing. And yeah, I mean, we had an absolutely stonking season. And then came goal of the season. It came in a 4-0 win in the FA Cup first round against Halifax Town. Therese Omatoy scoring 2 goals in that. Romain Mundell getting a goal. He was stalwart, stayed till the end of the series. And AJ Greaves, not a name that readily springs to mind as one of the players that I had in the thing, and I wouldn't have expected him. But AJ Greaves provided us with the goal of the season, and this was it. Ball swung out wide to Smith. Greaves comes in. Greaves has a shot from the edge of the area and in off the bar. And for the second season in a row, he got goal of the season. While our season as cups go wasn't particularly productive, we got knocked out of the EFL trophy in the northern section, not managing to get past that, I don't think. Well, actually, I tell a lie. We got out of the group. We played in Group D. Buxton and crew getting out of that group. But what happened after that? I need to check and find out. Did we lose in the next round? That was what happened. Quarterfinals. No, sorry, second round in the north. We lost to Preston by a 1-0. That's how we went out of the competition. That's the answer to that one, Mark. Thank you very much. Right, yeah, okay. So Preston knocked us out of that one. They were in a higher league than us at the time. I think they were in League One, to be fair. We got our revenge later on, though. There it is, second round. I missed that. FA Cup, we got through the third round. Beat Crawley Town in a replay. Lost to Wickham by a 0 in the fourth round. That was how our cups went for the season. If we have a quick look at the squads then, got top goal scorers Tyrese Omotoy. 37 goals he put away in 38 appearances. Nearly a goal a game. Very, very good. Lewis Dobby got 19. Johnny Smith, 15. Lewis Walker, 14. And then Harry Smith and Perry Moss, 9 and 8. And Brown Sterling scored 8. Names that you may remember from that series. So that is how our season went. 2024-25 season. Let's go and have a look at the 25-26 season. Well, for the first time this series, we hadn't finished the season as champions. Finished second in Sky Bet League One behind Bristol City. Second on this, media prediction was for 23rd. We had increased our estimated value at this point in time by about £1 million, 2.66 million, a big increase, and we'd grown our reputation to 2 stars, 216 games played, 139 games won, 45 games drawn, 32 games lost, win percentage of 64%, goals for 459, goals against 220, and the goal difference 239 to date in career. So that was rather splendid. So this is how we finished in this season. 82 points, some 11 points behind Bristol City, top of the table on 93. 46 games played, 22 wins, 16 draws, lots of draws in this season. 8 lost. You can tell we've stepped up to a higher level. 86 goals for, still putting the goals away. 50 goals against, 36 goal difference, 82 points, as I said. In the last 5, we won 2, drew 3, and the table finished like this. Bristol City top on 93. We were second on 82. Then came Bristol Rovers, Bristol City's arch rivals, on 80. Ipswich Town were third on 79 alongside Preston. Derby on 78 in the last playoff place. And as you can see, Ipswich and Derby were the teams playing out the playoffs in this. Ipswich, I think, got promoted along with us. Then came Wigan, Peterborough, Charlton, Milton Keynes Dons, Barnsley, and so on, getting relegated with Bradford, Port Vale, Crawley Town, and Sutton United. How did our season go? Well, one thing I didn't look at while we were there, did I? Which I like to do, and I hadn't done it. Past positions. Let's have a look at how our season had gone. It's a little bit different, isn't it? We had a bit of a wonky start, really. First half of the season, and we lowest point, 19th in the table. Looked like we were struggling and fighting relegation, if I remember rightly. Match day 11 was a 1-1 draw against Derby County. Seemed to be the turning point. From there on in, we pulled ourselves up the table. Hit a little bit of a plateau here. dropped away again, but then continued our rise up through the table and eventually settled about 3 games out in second place, and that promotion place, that 6-2 win against Wycombe, seemed to seal our promotion to the Championship for the following season. And I think that's how it went. Right. I was back here somewhere, or going here. Here's where I was going. As you'll see, this was the bit of a wonky start that we had. Only won 1 game in those in that first month, and it looked like we perhaps bitten off a bit more than we could chew. And it went on a little bit, and then we had a very good run here through December. A bit mediocre towards this point in time, but it was enough to see us through. And as I say, that 6-2 win against Wycombe seemed to seal us off quite nicely. It wasn't to be our season in the Cups. We lost to Nottingham Forest in the third round. Having got through first round and second round, we got to beat Nottingham. To lose to Nottingham Forest 2-0 in the third round. A Caribou Cup, we knocked out in the first round by Sheffield United 3-0. But we did win the Papa John's Trophy for a bit of pizza, beating Liverpool under-21s 5-0, and didn't lose or in that competition at all. Some draws in there, but we didn't lose. And we went to Wembley and won the EFL Trophy. Our goal of the season came in a 1-1 draw with Derby. We managed to go a goal down after 11 minutes to Tyrese Dolan. But Rafferty Pedder had other ideas after 48 minutes early in the second half. Got a 1-1 draw in the league, and this was the goal that turned out to be goal of the season. Walker going down this wing, crosses it in, Pedder's in acres of space, brings it to the edge of the area and plants it in the back of the net. Good goal. And the top goal scorers in this season, Lewis Walker, 27 goals from 30. Tyrese Omotoy 13 from 27. Nathan Fraser, who was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't he? 9 goals in 11 appearances. I suppose the ratio's not too bad. Johnny Smith 9 in 28. Excuse me. Manny Norquette 7 in 28, and Sam Burns 7 in 28. And then we had Billy Sass Davis, who finished the series with us, of course. He had 6 in 36, most of those from corners, Perry Moss contributing, and a number of other players as well getting odd goals. So contribution was rather good. So that's how we ended up the season, and Sky Bet League One promoted to the Championship. How would we get on in the Championship season 26-27? Well, 26-27 came, and we increased our estimated value. By this point had gone up to 11.26 million. That was a huge jump just by getting into the Championship. Finished 8th in this season. Media prediction was for us to get relegated in 24th. Didn't happen. And at this point, Patrick Gamble is our captain, Dara Costello our key player, and Gary McDonald our hot prospect. But 266 games played by this point, 162 games won, 55 drawn, 49 games lost, 538 goals for, 275 against, a goal difference of 263 in series, and 60% win percentage. Our reputation is 2 stars at this point in time. How did our season go? Well, yeah. We had a bit of a rough start, didn't we, in the Championship? Looked like we stepped up, chewed off too much, and we really struggled. Seemed to get a bit of a run of draws here, and then we seemed to hit a little bit of a nice spot, but then it was a bit sort of sporadic, really. Never really got motoring, never really had a good run of wins or picking up points, albeit we did have sort of like little clusters and then seemed to go off the rails for no reason at all in most cases, it was a little bit annoying, to say the least. Right, we're going to have to do that again, because go into the league table. Here's the league table, how it finished. Norwich finishing top on 94.5 with automatic promotion to the Premier League. Blackburn was second on 93, automatic promotion. The playoffs being played out at the moment. West Brom on 87, Sunderland 85. They've been knocked out by the looks of it. Sheffield United on 82, and Brentford there on 80 from our other series. Project Turnaround, but that's something completely different. Southampton finished 7th on 76. We finished a notable 8th on 75 points, 5 points adrift from those playoff places, having won 3, lost 1 and drawn 1 in the last 5 games. I suppose, all in all, it wasn't too bad, was it really, how that ended up? How did our season go? If we look at past positions, as we do, yeah, it was a bit of a sort of, we spent most of the time mid-table, really. Our low point was after match day 11, a 0-0 draw with Blackburn Rovers, down in 17th place. Managed to pull ourselves up a little bit, hit a little bit of a plateau. It was a bit of a bumpy ride, but we finished pretty much as high as we have been all season, apart from the first opening day, of course, but to discount that one. 8th place was probably highest that we have been, match day 46, and yeah, it was all in all, it was okay-ish. How did our cups go in this season? Well, we lost in the 4th round of the FA Cup to Sheffield United, who knocked us out of the Carabao Cup the season before. 2-0 win. A 2-0 loss against Sheffield United, having beaten Blackpool in the previous round, in round 3. That one, of course, after a replay, and we were knocked out in the first round of the Carabao Cup by Watford 3-2. We lost that one. Our goal of the season came from Hakeem Adofin in the 2-2 draw with Bristol City at Ashton Gate. They took the lead through a Masengo penalty after 20 minutes. We got back on level terms through Adofin after 52. Romain Mundell give us the lead on 78. Were we going to win it? No. Misui scoring for Bristol City 2 minutes after Mundell to make it 2-2. It was a 2-2 draw, but this Hakeem Adofin free kick gave us a lifeline when he scored it right into the top corner. And yeah, again, as I say, I'm sure there was better goals in that season. And I think the other notable thing in this season was just how low our goal scoring ability had come. As we got higher up the leagues, the more difficult it was to put the goals away. It was almost like we were overpowered early on. Ismet Adrizi, 16 goals from 10 appearances. He did very, very well, coming in on a freebie, of course. Nathan Fraser got 9 from 24. Taylor Richards, 7 from 29. Ashley Fletcher, 7 from 26. Tyrese Omatoy's fallen off the cliff now, 6 from 9. And 20 subs appearances and so on. I'll let you see the rest there. But no big scorers apart from Ismet Adrizi, really, of course, that gave us that momentum. So that's how it all ended at the end of the 26-27 season, which brings us bang up to date. And so we finished the series in the Championship, finishing 10th, of course, as we've already looked at. Made a prediction again of us being relegated. At this point, the estimated value has gone up to 18.21 million. So we've grown that very, very much and gone to 2.5 stars reputation. I think we went through the goals before, so I'm not going to do that again. So that is pretty much how we've ended the series, apart from one thing. As I said right early on, the premise of this series is to be a legend. The question is, have we achieved being a legend? I need to find it, and I'll be back in just a second. Right, I've worked out where it is, but before we do that, we just need to check on a few things. I want to just show where we actually went in the series. When we took them over, they'd just risen from the Evo Stick League Premier Division in 21-22. and then we took them up from National League North, National League, League 2, League 1, and then finished up in the Championship, of course. 8th last season, 10th this season. We won a Sky Bet League 2 trophy, a Papa John's trophy, National League trophy, National League North trophy. I can't hold anything for these, but 4 trophies in our series. And the records, Tyrese Omotori currently holds the record for the most Buxton League goals in a season with a total of 34. Mason Burstow has netted on 19 occasions. Most clean sheets, Andrew Thomas holds the record of 22. So that's how it went. Right, I think, if my memory serves me right, this is the screen that we want and what we're looking for here. Legends. We have achieved what this series set out to do, and that is become a legend at club. Oh, boys and girls, we finish the series on an absolutely explosive high. That has made my day. We have become a legend in our own right at Buxton, and may Buxton sail on more things. And I'm just sorry that we won't be around to see them go forward and play at their brand new stadium. We will maybe come back and have a look at some point or other just to see how they go on. I might play a little bit more. Just depends how much time I've got before all the 24 stuff starts to fall out. I noticed there are some videos dropping out from some of the YouTube creators this morning with the alpha, which usually indicates that the beta isn't far behind. Well, I hope you've enjoyed. I know it's been a long episode, but I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had a really deep dive into the series and, of course, our final season with Buxton. Hope you've really enjoyed the series. If you have, please give me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That gives you all future episodes of anything that we release here on the channel, all our FM24 content. And of course, don't forget Project Turnaround still going on at the moment, where we're trying to get Brentford back into the Premier League, and it's finding it very, very tough. I can tell you that. If you haven't bought yourself a copy of FM24 yet, link and a code down below, which will save you some money. It helps the channel as well. If you don't mind using that, I would much appreciate it. Best way of keeping up to date with everything that's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM or X or whatever it's called now. I never know what to call it. Thank you very much for watching this series. I can just say, if you haven't and you've caught it right at the end, hope it hasn't spoilt it for you, go back and watch from the start. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon on one of our other series and the FM24 beta series when it comes out. Stay tuned to this channel. Till then, bye-bye.